Hello and welcome everyone back to another Pokemon ranking video. Today we are gonna do my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. Now, upon doing research for this video and pull in all of the sprites and the art and all of that, I kind of found that I really looked fondly back on Gen 2, but it was kind of boring. It was like the generation of the really awkward baby Pokemon, which I'm not a big fan of. And a lot of single stage no evolution Pokemon, which feels weird because it doesn't fit with how Pokemon works. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting video, but we got 10 Pokemon lined up as well as 2 honorable mentions and our worst Pokemon. So let's go ahead and jump right in with the honorable mentions. Now 2 of these honorable mentions, I had a tough time deciding which 2 are going to be the honorable mention and get actually removed from the 12 that I had picked. Because one of them I really like, and one of them I have grown quite a fondness over recently. That being said, the first one we're gonna do is Lantern. Now Lantern doesn't get a whole lot of love, I don't feel. It's kind of one of those forgotten Pokemon. You kind of go, which generation is that from? But it is a Gen 2 Pokemon. I don't know, it looks happy, it's fun. I like the little headpiece. It's got an interesting shape as opposed to just normal fish. It's kind of got like a little hump and a little bump. I don't know. I like Lantern. I think it's kind of cool. I recently used it in a randomizer playthrough, and I don't know. I just really started to like Lantern. So other honorable mention is Slowking. Now Slowking, the whole slow line is Pokemon that I love. If you watched my Gen 1 ranking video, you know that I put Slowpoke up at number 3. It's just a line that I really like. I'm not crazy about anything but the top 2 in this video. I don't think, they're not like some of my favorite Pokemon ever. But Slowking is one of those Pokemon that's kind of taken some ups and downs with me over the years. In the anime, it's an amazingly cool Pokemon where, it can talk, and it's got, such a psychic ability, and it really separates itself from the other 2 in the line, from Slowpoke and Slowbro. I don't know. I just think it's a cool Pokemon. I really like it. Its headpiece is pretty cool. And it's got a cool scarf thing, so whatever. Now if we're gonna move into the worst Pokemon, now I don't think that this is gonna be such a big deal. I know that a lot of people kind of seem to agree with Chansey being not such a great Pokemon from Gen 1. And I think the one that I've picked for the worst in Gen 2 is gonna follow similar lines, at least. There's definitely, I know it's not Dunsparce, but I know that Dunsparce is usually kind of the one that you see down at the bottom tier. I kind of like Dunsparce. He's got that derpy look. His eyes are always closed. I don't have a problem with Dunsparce, but Pokemon I do have a problem with in Gen 2 is Smoochum. Now this thing, we didn't need a baby Jinx. It's just a weird Pokemon. It's this weird pink thing, but it's got like a tan top. I can't tell if it's wearing pants or it's wearing a shirt. It's got hair and it's got the big lips. I don't know. It's weird. As I said earlier, I don't like the baby Pokemon they introduced in this generation. I really can't think of any that I liked. I guess Magby and Alekid are pretty cool. I don't have a problem with them. But Clef's kind of weird. Igglybuff's kind of weird. I think Smoochum's kind of weird. So I don't know. I don't really like baby Pokemon. I think that they're making Pokemon that were already babies even babier, and they feel like babies, where Squirtle's a baby Pokemon, but it looks like a normal Pokemon, a starter base Pokemon. All the baby Pokemon in Gen 2 to me feel like they were intentionally childish, and I just don't like that. So Smoochum gets my ranking as the worst Pokemon from Gen 2. Now moving on up the list, it's going to be a lot of Pokemon that were pretty closely knit up until the top 4 maybe. So I have them ranked incorrectly, it looks like. Who am I missing? It's always good when you mess up your own list. Okay, I just have them swapped. Sorry, so now we know who number 9 is. So number 10 is actually gonna be Ladybug. Now Ladybug and Shuckle, which you saw as number 9 already, I kind of swapped them back and forth. I initially had Shuckle at the bottom, and Shuckle was almost pushed off the list to be the honorable mention, but the more I looked at it, I'm like, I like Shuckle. It's an interesting design. Ladybug's the same way. It's a ladybug, and it's simple, and it's supposed to be simple, and I think Ladian's kind of weird, but Ladybug has that Pokemon look which Slowking kind of doesn't. It's too humanoid. And Lantern also kind of did, but I felt Ladybug kind of fit me more, so that's why I picked Ladybug to be in the top 10. I really like Ladybug. It's one of those, again, I like first stage Pokemon that aren't baby Pokemon, but I like first stage Pokemon. So I think looking at Ladybug, it fits that first stage kind of Pokemon. As a lot of Pokemon in this generation do that have evolutions at least. So Ladybug gets to number 10. Now number 9, we've already seen Shuckle. I like Shuckle, one of those Pokemon that doesn't evolve. I've been waiting forever for it to get an evolution. Probably never going to happen at this point. It's cool. I don't know. It's a fucking wall. The thing is insane with its defense stat. It's like a turtle, but also like algae and a rock. I don't know. It's a cool design. It's really, really simple. The Pokemon's face itself has no life, no characteristics. It's just boring, but the shell that it's in is so cool. It kind of makes up for it. I don't know. I like Shuckle. I think it's a cool Pokemon. Moving away from the real simple designs, we're gonna move up to number 8. We've got Raikou. I really like all 3 of the legendary dogs. I kind of went back and forth on whether I was going to put all 3 of them on this list, and I pulled a batch of 16 Pokemon, and both of them were included in that, and eventually they kind of fell off, leaving Raikou as my favorite of the 3. In an initial glance, it's got a lot going on. Entei kind of just looks like a simple fire dog. Suicune kind of looks like this, this kind of mythical fox, maybe. It doesn't quite look dog-like the other 2 kind of do. Or wolf-like, if you will. It looks a little more regal. But it's a pretty simple, fitting design. Raikou's got a lot going on. He's got yellow body. You know, he kind of looks tigerish. He's got kind of the yellow body with the black decals. He's got a lightning bolt tail with a star on the lightning bolt at the end of the tail. He's got like a clouded cape that's purple. He's got a blue thing over his face and the teeth. There's a lot going on in this design, and it kind of looks haphazard, and I've always thought that, but it's really grown on me over the years. It used to be by far my least favorite. It used to be Entei number 1, Suicune way down at number 2, and then Raikou Blue that at number 3. Since then it's probably swapped now. I think it's Raikou, Suicune, Entei. I don't know, he's cool. I think he's got a good look, and he looks fearsome, kind of like the other 2 look stout maybe, but he looks fearsome. So I don't know, I like me some Raikou. Number 7 has an interesting Pokemon. I put Gligar in number 7, or Gligar, excuse me. I really like Gligar. I think that he has an interesting type set in ground flying. He's cool that he glides. I don't know. He's so animated both in the games and in the cartoon. Got the cool pincers. I don't know. It's just a Pokemon that I think is really cool. It's got a cool design. Like he glides and he's like foolish. I don't know. I like Gligar. He definitely makes my top 7. I thought he'd be higher up on this list, but ultimately I dropped him down a little bit just because some of the Pokemon above him I just thought fit me better, or fit the criteria I'm looking at, I guess, better in terms of both design and personal affiliation with. So number 6, I know, is something that is kind of debated on whether it's really good or really bad with no in between. But number 6, I have Croconaw. Now, Croconaw is by absolute leagues and bounds my favorite of the Totodile line. I'm not a big fan of Totodile. Feraligator's cool, but take it or leave it. Croconaw is so cool, man. He's got the caveman look, and I know that that's kind of weird for Pokemon, and that's kind of the discussion. Oh, well, Pokemon aren't cavemen. Like, he looks like a, bipedal caveman. And I like that. He looks ferocious. He looks feral, and he looks untamed and untrained. And I think that that's kind of the idea. He's supposed to look ferocious, not tame and fun, and he looks savage and barbaric. I don't know. It works really well. It works great with the spike on his tail and the spike on his head. He's got the kind of mangled teeth coming out the sides with the cool like tunic cutout caveman thing. It's such a cool design to me, and is like, if we ever get to the middle gen ranking video, Croconaw will be towards the top, if not the top, because he is an absolutely gorgeous middle stage Pokemon to me, where there aren't many of those in the starter line. So Croconaw number 6. Now number 5 kind of pairs along with number 10. I have Spinarak. Now Spinarak and Ladybug are just kind of the small bug boys. You get those in every gen, but I don't know. Spinarak's a cool design. I like his legs. He's kind of got the banded colors. He's got a great color scheme. He's got a really nice looking face. I always think he looks pretty happy. You know, again, he's got the horn. If you've watched the other video, you know how much I love the horns on the head. And I mean, the two things about it, I love the color scheme, and I love the face on his back. You know, to kind of scare prey off. It's something that works really well with real life spiders, that I like that they kind of entwine into a Pokemon, because you don't see that a whole lot. You don't see the real life overlapping with the Pokemon, even though they're usually loosely based on a real life thing. I just thought it was a nice touch, and I've always liked Spinarak. More than anything, it's his color scheme just really resonates with me. So Spinarak number 5. Now number 4, again, similar to Shuckle and Ladybug, we're gonna go up to a much more notorious Pokemon in that generation. I'm gonna pick Lugia now. Out of all the legendaries in all the generations, Lugia is towards the top. He's probably not number 1, but he might be number 2. I don't know if it's just because I was a kid when the Lugia and Ho-Oh movie had come out, which also featured Slowking. But I like his design. I like that he's kind of the color of the sea. He's got a regal, big feel to him. His design looks large and menacing and legendary, and I like that. That's why I'm not a fan of a lot of the mythics like Celebi or Jirachi or Victini. They're so small and cute and plain that it doesn't have that big legendary feel, which I appreciate in a Pokemon. So that's mostly why I like Lugia. It's just he's got a good design. He looks dragony, and I like, you know, I know he's not a dragon, but I like the dragony looking Pokemon. So speaking of dragon looking Pokemon, number 3, we got the Dragonfly Pokemon Yanma. I have loved Yanma forever. As soon as it came out, I was like, that's my Pokemon. Initially, it was probably my favorite Pokemon in Gen 2, until I actually played through the games, at least. I like Dragonflies a lot. I like his design so much. It's so simple, but just Pokemon-esque enough to kind of separate it from like a child's drawing of a Dragonfly. But I don't know, man. There's something about Yanma. You'll probably see Yanma in future stuff on the channel, both on Twitch and on YouTube. It's a Pokemon that I use for a lot of stuff. I think fits really well with a lot of the things I like to do. I don't know. He's got a cool face. He looks so happy and pleasant and innocent. Like, it's a cool mod, man. I like Yanmega as well, but it's never going to compare to, you know, what I think of Yanma. So now top 2 are Pokemon that I absolutely adore, and both have a chance to find their way onto like my top 20 favorite list if I do something similar to that at some point. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a top 10 or a top 20. I'm trying to think about it right now. I probably will do a top 20 just because there are so many Pokemon. And if not, I'll do 10 honorable mentions first. Which I might as well just do the top 20 at that point. But it's so hard to pick, and I feel bad leaving Pokemon off the list. And if, like, you know, number 2 that I'm about to say didn't make that list, I would feel kind of bad for it, because I think it deserves to make that list. And that Pokemon is Bayleaf. Now this Bayleaf's sick, dude. This design is so good. It's got the necklace thing that I know was like floating around the neck, and it's not actually on Bayleaf's neck, which is weird. Especially if you take them away, the Pokemon looks really fucking weird. But it works so well. The color scheme is so fucking good. It's just like, it's the perfect green and the perfect tanny yellow color to just make the Pokemon pop, man. I really like dinosaur looking Pokemon. I like 4-legged dinosaur looking Pokemon, like Bulbasaur, for instance. It's such a good evolution from Chikorita. Meganium as well is absolutely fantastic. The whole line is pretty good. I think Chikorita suffers a lot from being small, and so all of the pieces are compressed, and it just kind of looks like it looks like a really scrunched Bayleaf. But Bayleaf getting to like extend and get that neck out there and look more dinosaur, it works. And not like, we're not even gonna talk about that leaf on the head, man. It is such a sick design. It's got the sharp point, it cuts back, and then has the little cutout in it. It's so good. Oh man, I love Bayleaf. And I am so happy that I got to do this video, because when I saw Bayleaf, when I was going through all the list of the Gen 2 Pokemon, I was like, oh fuck man, Bayleaf is so good. It's so good. Oh, that leaves at number 1. So if Bayleaf's not number 1, and I just like gush that much, what could be number 1? Well, if you've watched videos on this channel or anything on my Twitch channel, you know that this Pokemon's like in my top probably 5 favorite of all time. And it's Cyndaquil. Man, I fell in love with this Pokemon playing through Gold and Silver. Cyndaquil is absolutely phenomenal. It's cute. Like, it's got the eyes closed and it looks just so happy, but it's like such a timid Pokemon as well, especially in the anime, and that really comes through. It's like the Gen 3 or Gen 2 starters really have personality, both in the anime and in the games, and you can feel it and it exudes from them. Cyndaquil was the one I picked. I love the way it looks. It's the only fire starter that I would say is the best of the 3 starters. It's weird because it's like bipedal, but not quite bipedal. Like, it does kind of walk on all 4s, but it can stand up and walk. The whole line is amazing. I also think Quilava is fantastic. Typhlosion is not quite as good. It just kind of does look like tall Quilava. But man, oh man, I am so into this Pokemon. Like, if Cyndaquil has like a small chance at making top 3 all time, and if not, it's definitely top 5. Like, Cyndaquil is, and I love Cyndaquil. It's just so perfect. I love the colors, I love the design, I love its viability in the games, I love that it's a starter. It's a great Pokemon. Cyndaquil is easily the best Pokemon in Generation 2. But you might not agree with me, so definitely tell me down in the comments what your top 10 favorite Pokemon from Generation 2 are. What's your favorite Pokemon in general from Generation 2? What's your favorite starter? What's the worst Pokemon in Gen 2? Because there's quite a few that could make it. Now, I know that a lot of people like to, shit talk like Quillfish and Stantler. Nah, that's not it, man. It's Smoochum, it's Cleffa, it's Igglybuff, it's those weird baby looking Pokemon. There's some bad ones. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I will be back probably in a day or 2 with another ranking video. I don't know if it's gonna be Gen 3 or if we're gonna maybe start doing something else. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. We're gonna try and get stuff out in more of a timely manner. I'm so swamped between work and trying to get stuff done with the Twitch channel, and then trying to get videos out and trying to just kind of like chill on my off time and like, recoup from everything I've been doing. And then also to just like enjoy time with friends and stuff like that. There's a lot going on. So, but I'm trying to stay on top of stuff and get stuff out in a better timely manner. So that's why we're doing this here. So thank you guys for watching. You can check all the Discord, Twitch channels, Twitter, all that down in the description below. Definitely let me know what your favorite Pokemon from Generation 2 is, and I will see you guys in another video. Have a great day and goodbye.